Hello, Jamie. I'm not going to pretend like I've not been speaking to you for the past 90 minutes. How are you
What? I
doing?
don't know what you're on about. Nice to see you. No, yeah, very good.
Good, good. Um, quickly, you were away earlier today, weren't you?
Yep, yep. We went down, did a little coaches who are. So kind of got down, posed some questions to them, took some feedback about the programming from their perspective, because obviously every gym is slightly different. So it
Mhm.
was all good to get that. And then we did some like breakout coaching stuff. And one of the things that I like to focus on is really nailing those basics of coaching the simple movements really well, because
Mhm.
then further down the line, when you're going for the more complex movements, you'll be able to then have someone in the right position before they even begin. So those world-class basics. I wore my high performance hoodie. Um,
Love
we
it.
certainly got the point across, which was good.
Awesome. Sounds good. What we need to do actually is quite a few gyms have asked us about doing, similar coaching development days at the gyms. So we, between you and myself, need to work out some dates and put those out to everyone that's following the class plan at the moment. So we'll bang
Yep.
heads together in the next couple of days, and maybe for the next 6 months, just throw some dates out to people to maybe get back to us to organise.
Most certainly. Yeah. Especially like in London, if you're in and around the area, there's some
Mm-hmm.
guys out in Kent, Rodwell's in town. Wales is a bit far, but we got one in Singapore now.
Mate,
So
yeah, one in the US of A as well now.
yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Gosh.
But yeah, we need to sort that. Doesn't matter where you are in the UK, we'll be there. We
Ish.
will be. We'll be.
There you
We'll
go.
be there this year. We'll be there this year. Right. Let's get stuck into this week. So this is the week starting the 7th of March. Obviously, tonight 22.2 drops. This is the week that we're 22.3 will drop. Just to be clear. Pretty similar format in the sense that we've kept some CrossFit blends in there. We've got some heavy squatting in there as well. And there's kind of some weightlifting work that starts off a little bit lighter, helps dial in technique, and then an opportunity to go heavy on that. So we're kind of covering all bases there as well, which is fantastic. We've just kind of mixed the days up for the Monday to Wednesday, just so they're not all on the same day, because obviously we're aware that some members only come in on certain days, so it's kind of good to make sure that they get a little bit of a different class every now and again. Going into specifics of Monday, this is a great little piece to start off with the blends. We've got a couple of barbell movements, so great opportunity to dial in the barbell cycling, which is good. Under, obviously being in season, under some interference. So that first one, very midliney, very anterior. So front squats into toes to bar. Looks easy on the tin. When you crack open that tin, not so easy. When you've been going through these blends the past few weeks, Jamie, is there anything that's kind of stood out to you, and then going into this session that you can kind of take going into it?
Yeah, I think firstly they're very popular classes. So you'll notice those Tuesdays, people are glutton for punishment. They were coming in, they're getting themselves smashed. We mentioned about the burpees and toes to bar combo being potent, and our members well and truly felt the potency of that. So yeah, more of the same. Expect it to be busy. One thing I think the guys have come away with is how tough these blends are. So scaling, I think the last couple of weeks, each week people have scaled better and preserved the stimulus better. So hopefully in this third week here, we'll see even more positive scaling. That's the best way to describe it, is people are actually doing the workout as it is written, rather than, I think we can all bang 10 front squats fresh, but if we're doing them in twos and our elbows are closer to our knees than if they are in a toes to bar, that's the front squat we don't want to see. So making sure we nail those scaling options, and as a coach, keep advising and guiding people. And sometimes people need the yes no, sometimes people need the learn and do. So it's sometimes you have to let people crash and burn every now and again to kind of let them get a slice of humble pie, but then they'll come back stronger if you've educated them on why did that happen. So little punchy one at the end. Machine and burpees always thinks of the JST fitness test of 20-minute alternating EMOM. So good news is there's no EMOM to stop you, but you can just go faster.
The thing I want to add on to that is that this should be paced from the start, like it's a 15+ minute workout. So again, just reiterating the point about people have been scaling better. Make sure people are pacing better as well on this piece.
Yep.
So for example, the front squats and toes bar, how would you attack that a little bit more if it was in, a longer workout? You wouldn't be doing those toes to bar unbroken off the bat. You'd probably be, splitting it down the middle, taking that little bit longer before you pick up, the barbell, and trying to squat clean that first rep. So you're being as efficient on the reps as possible, and having just that little bit less time under tension. So getting that message across is, really important. Just to clarify on the format as well, because I feel like someone's definitely going to get this wrong. It's 3 minute of front squat toes to bar, 1 minute rest, 3 minutes of hang power clean sit-ups, 1 minute rest, 3 minutes of machine burpees. Then you go back to the front squat and toes to bar and follow it through for a second time. Okay. So you can get different people to start on different parts of the workout as well there. So there's a way to make it a bit more smoother.
Yeah.
On to Tuesday. This is a classic. We've done this before, haven't we?
Yeah. One of my favorite snatch sessions to run in a class.
Same, just period. One of my favorite snatch sessions, just to be dialing in technique, moving well. At 50%, you can knock out snatches all day long. And when you get heavier, it's just so dialed in that you don't have to think about it, which is perfect and what we're after. Anything you would put on, on particular focus on this, with it being this time in the open or anything like that?
Yeah, I think I'll touch more on like why I like this class or this workout for a class. So the difference between an advanced and a beginner weightlifter, 20 minutes is 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And if you have a complete beginner, they can just really take their time. They've got no end goal and no end expectation to kind of race towards the line. They can just spend 20 minutes in their own heads, just practicing the movement, getting it dialed in. And then for your more competitive members, right, here we go. You could even pair people up and they can share a barbell and you can trade you go, I go as we're rolling through. And then it's survival of the fittest. So that's the great thing about this workout. It's very flexible. And like one of the things we touched at WIT today with the coaches is coach what's in front of you. So if you have a really advanced class, get the music up, turn it up, get everyone slinging. If you don't have that, if you have people who are more of their beginning of their journey of snatching, tone the music down, tone the pace of everything down, just so then everyone's feeling like they're comfortable and moving well. So that's where I stand with it. It's kind of a very snatch focused day, because afterwards we've got our snatch pulls. And just a note on that, we've said put it at the finishing weight. So try to stay where you are, which will be pretty tough.
Just very briefly touch on that accessory work. You've obviously been doing a little bit more bodybuilding work recently with the Dawn program. Are there any particular things that you've picked up while doing that from David's notes that you would then pass on to members?
Yeah, I think the first conversation is not always the hardest option is the best option. Mm-hmm. And then if I want to make a, in quotation marks, easier option, so if we use the strict pull up here with the band, the tempo is what nails you. Just slowing down that movement and making sure you can feel the muscles. So yeah, in David's notes, he's like really hard on do it right, then do it harder. So that was one thing I really took away, and I tried to pass over to those guys. So tempo kills, literally.
Awesome. Awesome. On Wednesday, we've got some front squat waves. This is a really nice way to really kind of tease members into getting a new 1 rep max, and it's a great way to make people feel more efficient as they're going through the sets as well. Do you just quickly want to go through how these waves work first, Jamie, just so everyone's super clear?
Yeah. So coaches, you'll set a rolling clock for 2 minutes. You've got 9 sets. In that first 2-minute window, bang out your 3 front squats at 70%. And then in the next window, you're going to go 2 reps at 80%. Next window, 1 rep at 90%. Then you're going to reset back to 3 reps, but we're going to look to go a little bit heavier than what we did in that first set of 3. So we're going down the ladder, back up the ladder, down the ladder, back up the ladder. Hopefully it's a simple format when it's written on paper. From coaching this or coaching waves in days gone past, just be really explicit, just be really slow, really methodical, because otherwise someone will be doing a 3, then another 3, then another 3, then they'll be doing doubles, then they'll be doing singles, which again has its place, but not necessarily what we're after today.
Yeah, it's a great format to almost get a guaranteed PB as this as well. Especially with the volume being lower than it was, earlier in the season. People should have a little bit more in the tank to give there, which is perfect. The workout for Wednesday is strict Cindy. So strict pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. Why have you gone with strict Cindy?
I just wanted a bit of accessory work, the main focus being the front squats. We haven't done Cindy as a workout for a little while. So me saying that means it's in the bank coming forward, where we'll do the full 20 minutes with the kip, probably in our post-quarterfinals, having a bit of fun time where we can get some benchmarks tested. So it's a good one for me. I like just doing these movements. A lot of people can still get quite a good workout. I know a few of our members will be able to do this as an EMOM. So if you want to challenge your more advanced members, stay strict. It's a good opportunity for people to drop the reps and do maybe 1 to 2 strict pull-ups and then get an RX workout in terms of RX movements.
Awesome. Do you know what? I just realised that I've just quickly changed. We're going to have to let everyone know. We put strict pull-ups as in the accessory weight the day before, so I've just changed it to dumbbell strict press.
Very good.
There.
Very good.
That's where we are very transparent and honest. So Sorry about that.
We only whispered it. It's fine.
Cool. On to Thursday. So we've got the gymnastic skill working. We've had a similar, if not identical, session a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't last week, it was a couple of weeks ago. The great thing about repeating a session is people have got more, opportunity to grasp it, take what they did last time, progress it, or, just have a little bit more time to practice it. Especially as well, when we talk about doing world-class basics and when we get the guys at the high performance gym to, do a warm-up and we're hitting the, just the basic positions before we actually do the higher skill movements. We always make sure that in the EMOM before, they're choosing a scale it's pretty comfortable to do, but it's still challenging. So we make it challenging by making the amount of time that they do that movement a little bit longer. So same for this, make sure that the scale that people are using, they can do comfortable, but they're starting to kind of either push the amount of time that they're doing it for, or you can somehow make it harder. For example, on the handstand hold, can they start to try and bring the feet off the wall, but still using the wall as a bit of a guide rather than just completely relying on it? So always go for the slightly easier scale on this sort of skill work, and then look to make it that little bit harder. Okay. On to the workout.
Sorry, I'm just moving around a little bit, otherwise I'm going to run out of juice.
There
we go.
The old iPad.
There we go.
Cool.
Yeah, mate. Apple doesn't have a good battery, does it?
Onto the workout. Obviously, we didn't do the sprints on a Wednesday this week, but we've got them in today. So that 1 minute, it should be pretty much a full, max effort, getting that stroke volume right up, preparing the body and getting the CNS ready for the day after or the Saturday if you're doing the open workout. That's mixed in with some midline activation. So we got Russian swings for the posterior chain, glutes, back, and then some V-ups to get the anterior core ready as well. So that should help you just prep any members nicely for what's coming up in the next day or two there as well.
It looks like you're predicting a heavy lift for the last week.
Do you know what? I do actually think the repeat is going to be the last week with 17.3, and this week tease everyone up nicely for that.
Yeah, it's true. Another thing to add on that workout is we've just recently done our 1 minute on, 2 minutes off on max cals on the machine, which really, really peaks people's heart rates, which we done yesterday, so Wednesday. So have a word in people's ears to kind of let them know that what they did then, you probably need to knock 5% off of that effort, just because obviously you're then having a couple of minutes to recover, but you're actually going to hit some swings and some V-ups. So rather than kind of full send, it's kind of going at it a little bit less full bore.
Cool. On to Friday.
Love this workout.
Open workout. If you're not doing the open workout, you're doing Kelly. This was a good go-to for us during lockdown. And it'll just be interesting to see it's not doing quite as much running, but doing more CrossFit, if people's times got better, or with the lack of running, as it stayed pretty similar, or maybe dropped off. It'll be different for different people. So I think being aware of that fact is really important, and definitely remind your members of that fact before they go into that workout, because if someone, for whatever reason, doesn't get a better time, they're going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm not fitter than I was during lockdown. It's like, well, yeah, you probably actually are fitter than you were then. But when we say fitter, especially in CrossFit terms, that just doesn't mean that conditioning wise that you're fit. Like all round, like you're probably stronger, and it might have just, balanced out a little bit more. So that's worth bearing in mind as well. Okay.
That's a really, really, really good conversation to have with your members to set expectations, because I guarantee in lockdown, my running was pretty good. I was running 3 times a week, doing a little 5K plan, and Kelly was a workout that I'd probably like lapped up. Now doing a bit more weightlifting, doing those kind of things, I'm going to probably see a reduction in my time. But for me, I understand that what we need to do as coaches is try to relay that to members so they're not disheartened, because that's where you get that negative feedback. They're like, oh, I'm slower, I'm less fit, I'm rubbish. Yeah. But actually, tell me what you can do. Okay, I can do pull-ups now, or I did that first open workout RX. And those are the conversations that will have a positive spin on it. And again, that's what we're in the business of. We're in the business of making people feel good, have some fun, and get them fit in the process. So make sure you're always thinking of the positives. Have the negatives in the back of your mind, but don't use them.
Yeah, awesome. On Saturday, some touch and go work.
Talking about my stuff. This is it.
This is your jam.
Get me signed up. I'm in, coach. Touch and go power cleans, finishing at 90%, full cleans, you name it. I'm all over it. What do you think of the format? I love it. I love an EMOM with cleans. Like normally whenever we do these ones, the first 2 EMOMs I have to navigate because it jacks my heart rate. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, okay, now I'm down to 3 reps. I can start to catch my breath. And then it's like, oh, okay, now the music comes on and we're all good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm looking at that EMOM, and for me, what's going to be the most spicy bit, I reckon, is the actual touch and go, first 3 minutes of the touch and go squat cleans. Because there's 2 things. There's one, you've got to be telling your brain, oh, I'm not powering now, I've got to squat. So you'll be adjusting your coordination on those 3 minutes. And again, for me personally, it would doing squat cleans jacks my heart rate up a lot more than power cleans. But yeah, looks like a class strength piece to start the Saturday.
Yeah.
And then the workout actually after looks pretty sick as well, to be fair. I took this off the compete plan from the week before, and it was a 10 rounder on the compete plan, which is so longer than that, isn't it? I saw that, I was like 10 rounds. I was like, I'm like, is that a 40-minute workout or what? So I thought it looks like a great workout. I'm just gonna make it a 15-minute AMRAP because it looks class. So it's just a juicy one to get your teeth stuck into. The cleans will be dialed in from beforehand, and it'll just be making sure, again, are you the pacing king or queen? Because if you are going to win this.
Yeah, I agree. I think those people that are going to do, though, you're probably getting, I was just doing the mental arithmetic, like just under a minute for the first row, then you're looking at 45 seconds for the burpees, then you've got 45 seconds for the power cleans. Okay, like you're 230, 240 for round one. Well, if you're holding that all the way through, hopefully you paid your registration to the Open, because you should be in the quarterfinals. And then you might be up in Wigan very soon. So yeah, I think I'm
taking applications.
A good conversation. Yeah, we can send them up. Good conversation to have with a member is like, first round, be within yourself, be able to have control of the workout, and then each round you lose a little bit of control from your like control bank, and like then the last couple of rounds, or the last maybe 5-6 minutes, 15 minutes replicates that open workout perfectly. It's the workout's in control of you, but you've set a rhythm and you've got to keep hold of it. And it is very easy to slow down. I watched a lot of people do the repeats, and a good friend of mine got significantly better. And it was from minutes 9 to 15 in that open workout where you just had to remind him it wasn't getting any worse. We all did it, and we knew we didn't get any worse. The wall walks were fine. It was just about holding on to those paces. So as a group of coaches, it's a matter of just trying to hang in there. And I mean, I motivated him, because if he got a better score, he also beat me, because we got the same score in the first open workout. But well done, Nick, if you're going to listen to this. I'm praying for a heavy lift. Bring the heavy lifts on. I'm going to smash him in that.
Cool. On to Sunday to finish off the week. We've got a little bit of bodybuilding work in there as per usual. Slightly different format, which is quite nice. It's just a little bit of machine work mixed in there. So it's like a bit of a longer piece. You probably get a minute rest in between each piece as well. So it's a 2-to-1 weight ratio. So you should be able to keep quality on the exercises as you are going through as well. So yeah, working aerobically, but getting a little bit of a pump on.
Yeah, real sweat fest, like nice little blend of the two, getting some single arm, well, to an extent, single arm work with the dumbbell work, and then the ring rows, kind of underutilized exercise. Everyone thinks they're above a ring row. Keep good standards, and then the machine can determine the difficulty level of the workout. Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Quickly, depending on what comes out tonight, we may adjust a few things for next week. So we'll let you know there what the score is. Jamie was shit hot last week. As soon as the open workout dropped, within about 10 minutes, he bashed out a warm up and everything. That was perfect. So thanks for that, Jamie. It was great. Other really quick things, we're looking at doing some more add-on classes for once kind of the open's finished and quarterfinals, so that you can kind of run these alongside your normal classes as specialty classes. We're going to do a separate video on that and go into a bit more detail there. But yeah, anything else you want to quickly add? I know you're going to bounce.
No, good luck, coaches, for the Open. Hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah. Awesome. Right, team, we will catch you later this evening, if not next week. See you
later.